Over the past year, I've done a lot of editing. I've done more editing than I've done in my entire life in this past year. And to be honest, there are a lot of little tricks that I've learned and a lot of really cool things within the editing softwares that I've used that make a big difference in how I produce my content. Welcome back to the Rebel Tech channel. I'm Justin, and in this video we're going to be talking about the warping/perspective tool in Affinity Photo and showing you how you could use it. Very basic stuff, nothing too crazy, and maybe it inspires you to do something really cool in your content. So as you can see here, we're in Affinity Photo, and you're seeing my zoom routing of the headphones thumbnail. Very cool concept that was given to the Zoom F6. Probably is in a lot more audio devices than the Zoom F6, but it is in it, and if you have it, you can use it, and I highly recommend checking that out. So what you can see here is different layers that I have, and one in particular I had to manipulate a little bit, but in this one, it's not as aggressive. This right here, this cutout, it is a cutout, as you can see here, of this is not what is there. To be honest, I didn't feel like making another picture of the headphones because I forgot to take a picture of it, and then I just got a screenshot which was in focus, well, mildly in focus, as in focus as I could get it. When it's brought down to thumbnail size, it's not that bad. But regardless, that's not this video. If you wanted to take this and apply it to this, it's not as easy. And we're going to try to get it as close as we can. Of course, it might not be perfect, but we're going to try to get as much as we can. And for this example, we're going to use the perspective tool. So I'm going to copy this image and I'm going to put it here. If you really wanted to be lazy about it, you could try to just slap her there. It doesn't look that great. So let's see if we can make it a little bit more in line with the lines. So we're going to use this perspective tool right here, and you have anchor points on each of the corners. So right now I want to match it to the edges, just simple matching the edges. Now I know it's square going into a rounded edge, but for this example I'm just going to keep it as simple as I can. In the future I can make a video of doing it a little bit more precise, rounding off the edges and everything like that. But for this, we're keeping it simple. Now, I matched all the edges. This is easy. All you got to do is match the corners. And you see that it's on that angle. All you do is click apply. And you could pass it off. If you really wanted to try and make it a little bit more blendable, maybe add an outer shadow and just a hint. Like a hint of it. And maybe I could just bump this a little bit to the right. And bump this a little bit down. It doesn't look perfect, but at a glance, and if you're, for example, you take the layers here, and you unlock it so you can move it. If you were to make it small, and if I was to take this and replace it with this, oh my God, it's huge. And just put it here, just floating in the abyss. You're probably not going to notice the edges too much. So what we did here, we basically warped an image to fit a certain thing. And like I said, I could manipulate it a little bit more to make it a little bit more perfect. But as you can see here, it's passable. No one's going to think otherwise, and no one's really going to bug me too much. just looking at it as a thumbnail. So if I was to make this a little bit bigger to fit the size that I'm looking for here, and then scooch myself over, maybe a little behind there. I like mixing up the layers and make the zoom a little bit smaller, like so. You could do it like that. That'll pass. I mean, it's warped to the proper perspective, and that's what you're going to get out of it. And this is just one simple example. All right, so we have Guilty Spark here. If you're a Halo fan, you'll know exactly who he is. And for this example, I'm just going to show you how the mesh warp tool works. Same concept, has your anchor points out here. And to give it a little bit more perspective, let's put a background behind it. Makes it a little easier to see. Sometimes with that transparent background, it could be a pain in the butt. So let's make that a little bigger. Might help, might not. But let's use that mesh. So as you can see there, the anchor points are here. Now the big difference between this one and the other one changes the perspective. So it almost gives it like a 3D kind of like multi-dimensional aspect. This not only does the perspective thing, but it warps it. It like stretches it out, and you can stretch out whoever you want. I could do this to myself if I wanted to. If we reach a certain amount of subs at an undisclosed time, maybe I'll do a video on that. But yeah, you can manipulate it how you want. You make them look wonky. You could give them ears if you'd like. Or maybe not. I don't know. You can make them into like a little V shape like this, whatever it is. Now, I know this is a silly example, but this is to get you an example that's easy. Okay, so next up, let's make another square. Or squares are boring. Let's make a diamond. And we're gonna make this, I don't know, that color, whatever that is. Is that like ocean or like ocean foam or something like that? And we use this tool. Now you could really just make any shape that you like. This helps you make like this kind of shape, like bending in those edges, creating more of like a bended star, whatever it is. And then you could go a little bit more fancy. You could bring it out a little bit here. You could take these and go out a little bit like that. And you could eye it down and see if you like it. Whatever you want. You can make it fancy, like you could try to make a logo out of it. I don't know. I have no clue. Whatever you want to do. You can make arrows out of it. See how it kind of has like that wave to it? This could be a wave. And you manipulate it. Just have fun with it, really. Kind of looks like a whale or like something like that. I don't know. And then you start adding other effects to it, like the beveled edges, like I said before, like I talked about in a separate video. That actually looks really nice, actually. Let's take this. Let's turn this black, this background. Okay, so now you can see it a little bit better because it's a light color and it's a black background. And you can mess around with the beveled edge. Make it a little more, make it a little less. That kind of thing. You can make it 3D if you'd like. I don't know. It's just some weird logo, weird manipulation, weird blob. But the point is, you can make any kind of shape, any kind of thing you want with this. And you could do it to just about anything that you have access to. I mean, I'm not doing it to myself. Not. So that is the warping and perspective tool in Affinity Photo. I'm sure there is a equivalent in other softwares like Photoshop and other ones. But this is what I use. I use Affinity because it's just one-time payment of $50, or sometimes it's on sale. I might be on sale now. Just take a look. Just go on their website and you could get Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer, Affinity Publishers, the other one for like pamphlets and things like that, like presentations and printouts, whatever you need. And it's like $50 each, full price. And if you wait for it to go on sale, you can get maybe a package deal or whatever. I highly recommend Affinity Photo and all the Affinity stuff. It's a lot cheaper than paying a monthly subscription, and you get just about all the tools. You might miss out on some things, but maybe you work around it in some ways. And these tutorials that I'm showing you are to just give examples of what it has to offer. And this warping and perspective tool is one of the cool options. The main reason why I use it is to mold certain images to fit into, like I was saying with the menu, or like the screen fitting inside the Zoom F6. That's one of the examples. That all being said, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. It really helps this video, really helps this channel, and I would really appreciate it. And please consider subscribing if you enjoy what I do here, the vibe that I'm putting off, and really just everything that's going on. If you have any questions, comments, or anything whatsoever, down in the comment section, or you could talk to me during my stream every Wednesday and Saturday on Twitch, twitch.tv/ghettohappy. Just play video games, art, all that stuff that I was doing here. Now I'm switching over to Twitch, and I think I'm going to stay on Twitch for a while, probably for good, and maybe do some streams here on YouTube at some milestones maybe, or maybe even some special occasions, whatever it may be. And that's it for me. Until next time, be safe, be kind, and I'll see you in the next video. The only thing that I want to do is I want to pet that lemur. And no, that's not a euphemism.